related to the task. So whatever the task is being given, we should see that task will help them to get motivated towards learning. Then it should help them to simplify that task. Might be it is not only manageable, but it is also should be an achievable. Then it should also give direction. It should also be very clear differences between the students' work and standard solution should be achieved. It should also reduce frustration. These youngsters, we all know that they get very easily frustrated with long hours of listening to the sessions, or to just sit and have their self learning. But self learning is also one of the strategy. But there is a technique to, that technique has to be explained. But here I am not taken up self learning. So scaffolding is a pragmatic approach. When you look into these features that I have mentioned here, I can say it is a pragmatic approach which involves use of typical examples and applications that we need to give. Because I told you, task is nothing but an activity that we design to make our classroom more interesting. So, typical examples on applications to illustrate and to see that, the curriculum is more illuminated, more beautiful, more wonderful, to see that, the content that we are teaching. So, this strategy, when we look into the features, it suggests that, the content learned through appropriate context would be better than in the memory, and correspondingly very easy. It should be very easy. That is what, this simplify, provide direction. So it is trying to, through features, it is trying to tell us it is more easy and more appropriate. And definitely, we can see that students will easily recall and it can be applied. So this is one of the strategy that uh, might be the strategy we might encounter in future. It's not that, we have not been using. So don't be in the impression that, okay, most of the learners don't need this, but definitely it might be one of the similar, if you give similar context, when we apply these things in the real world, it is encountered definitely in the future. So let me go into the next one, the project-based learning. All of you know project-based definitely is very interesting. The moment you call project, even at school level, the students like a project level learning, because a particular project is given, they are asked to prepare. They all feel so happy looking at the project that they are preparing, because it is definitely hands-on doing, because it fosters creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, etc. So when definitely, in this project based, that is real world, there are in the classroom there are four pillars that we can talk. Which pillars that I'm trying to stress here is, one is curiosity, attention, newness, or motivation. All they should learn into learning. So these four pillars are very important in learning. So this project-based learning will definitely help students to learn better. We all know, even at PG level, students, even in other, say, not just general degree, even in technical degrees and many other degrees, project-based learning is given more importance. So then students will definitely have better practical skills in handling their work. They will get a chance to present it beautifully that they want. We also read that in the newspapers many times, especially when it comes to engineering students. They would have come up with, see, now we are coming up with lot of electrical, operated vehicles. So each student is trying to improvise, not only improvise on that, but also they're trying to find all, find through the projects how to save electricity as well while using at the same time. So they're coming up with so many newness there. So that curiosity, that newness, and all these things are very, very important because it keeps live. It keeps live all the um, learning that they want to do. So this is project based learning. So when we say project based, definitely it will lead to research in future. That is how we can see that students also, you know, will show interest in coming up with new learning. So coming to the next one, the collaborative and cooperative learning. This I think most of us use in our classrooms. Definitely, most of you would have used. So, cooperative learning is effective pedagogical tool which has definitely reported highly successful. I am sure somebody spoke. Somebody wants to tell something. Somebody is talking. Who is it? You have some question? Okay. Um, I think it was in the background. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
madam, it is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
fine.
Okay. So this is one of the drawback, if it was a live session, I think it is much better. Okay, see, this is what, using technology, blending it. Okay, so cooperative learning is definitely a beautiful pedagogical tool, which is very, increasingly dependent in all levels. Might be it is very effective to learn from each other. That is what is very important. When I say social skill learning, that is depending or interdependence of students among themselves. Also, you can say, peer learning also will improve. So, students work towards fulfilling this not only social skill but also academic is definitely a team learning or team approach. Cooperative learning is about team approach. Whereas collaborative learning is definitely, we have used or might be in some of you have done research also on this. Traditional, it redefines traditional student teacher relationship in the classroom. Because when we say collaborate, that teacher student relationship, because of the activities, because of the task that we design or what we assign, can definitely include collaboration, like might be to write, that is in the writing work, might be even it is a laboratory work where, the points are written after a kind of experiment that is conducted, or might be a project that is given in the group, or might be it is problem solving, together they can have one problem solving session. Then you can also, it helps in study teams like debates and writing group essays, etc., where this we can help them to explore a significant number of questions or create definitely meaningful project. So that is why collaborative learning is very, very interesting also, because it makes like it is like self, preparing students for self learning. So cooperative and collaborative learning both are the approaches which students can work together. So definitely when they work together, I say it's not a teacher is not out of question. Definitely teacher is a facilitator there. So they need to be, but when we talk about these two strategies, we should plan it very carefully before executing it, because they don't require permanently formed groups, where they use cooperative learning to help develop not only social skills, communication abilities, or even the development of independent learning skills. But many studies have also told cooperative learning can help in increasing motivational learning, or might be, I can say, cognitive domain. So it is much, helpful in helping to enrich our cognition. That is what, cooperative learning and collaborative learning can help in. So this is one of the strategy that most of us, I think, have also tried in our classes, in our different, pattern that we use in our classrooms. So I hope I will not stress much on this. Let's go to the next one, that is anchored instruction. Anchored instruction is definitely an approach that which helps not only students to engage actively, but also the environment that we create or design for them should help in critical thinking, developing their attitudes. Then they should come up with, a lot of effective problem solving skills or anything, because this will definitely help in what you call the principle that we always say, learning and teaching should be designed. Means the way when we design it is anchoring. The word, anchor. So somebody is trying to design it. How, when we conduct a program, we need an anchor who in between, give highlights of the program that is going on. So that is what we want our students also to be very creative and also have critical thinking while they are doing. Especially this is done in story, often might be it is an adventure situation or might be a storytelling. Don't think undergraduates don't need storytelling method or something. It's not storytelling method, but if that, especially in literature, when we talk about Shakespeare's plays, we can definitely have an anchored instruction, because definitely it needs to problem solving or might be critical thinking also, because thinking skills will be enriched. Or coming to social science, when we talk about kings or about civilization, definitely, you can take up this to another level, because it sounds very adventurous when we talk about civilization. It's not just we talk about, civilization is so and so, etc. But when we at the higher level, at the UG level, when we talk about it, a lot of debate can be taken place, and definitely it can be designed. So anchoring every stage is very, very important. So that is called anchoring. So every time somebody comes up with some situation, then next, you should be prepared with so a couple of lines where you give it to them, like what is going to happen next or what has happened and then going to happen. So these instructional materials should include lot of resources where students can explore. Also, they try to decide how to solve that problem. When we place it before them, that is one of the thing. So anchored instruction emphasizes mainly as a need to provide students with opportunities. That is how they are prepared. Okay. See, everybody cannot anchor beautifully. The moment once we hear somebody anchoring very well with a lot of beautiful quotes, lot of humor in it, we all will feel happy that, the opportunity that we gave them was definitely worth it. So which emphasizes on not only cognitive cognition, but also it is cognitive constructivists. Must be, one of them would have already done constructivism, where NCF talks about very beautifully about it. So this is called anchored instruction. So we can help students to decide how to solve the problem basically, or how to present it basically beautifully, to help to enrich their thinking skills. So definitely creative, critical, problem solving, everything includes there. Okay. So I will go to the next slide. Next point, that is peer tutoring. Peer tutoring is also definitely, I was also telling about peer tutoring in one of the strategies that can be combined as integrated, I mean to say. So is definitely not only a flexible, it is a flexible or peer mediated, as the name goes, it's a peer mediated, but it is very easy when you say. It sounds very easy, but definitely it is not easy. One thing all of us should remember, peer to, help peer to critically think, academically involve them, to have that involvement in the concept that they want to prepare with diverse thinking is very, very important, because the youngsters, with youngsters handling, we handling the youngsters with higher performing students, we should tag them with the lower performing academically, I mean to say performing students. Then, beautifully we can help them to think diversely, because when we say the idea might be, one will have idea, the other one might have logic, we cannot say. So this peer tutoring can definitely be implemented as one of the tools that helps in the classroom. So I have given some of the benefits of peer tutoring, because it allows students for proper response of feedback. So when there is lot of feedback, see, peers, we should encourage them not to curb themselves if the feedback is given, to take it negatively. How to make minus into minus is plus. So how to make that kind of training should be given. So second one is, peer tutoring creates more opportunities for students. Definitely, when we create, give them practice in skills, it is definitely for recall and retention. Then the third benefit that I have given in peer tutoring is, go in depth. The more you go in depth into the topic, having a debate, having a conversation, presenting yourself in, what is being discuss, it becomes very, very important for each student to involve in himself in coming up with positive attitude towards what he is learning, so that definitely leads to confidence. Confidence is very, very important to build relationship as well as to have social interaction. Otherwise they become very passive in the social group, and though they have those though they are diverse thinkers, they will not be able to open up because they were not given the opportunity. So this peer tutoring should be encouraged, because this will definitely help students to develop basically the confidence. Because most of the students, when we club both variety of students together, this group or peer tutoring, what you call, will tell. So this peer tutoring might be later on, in future, you should give more importance to mentoring also then. So that mentoring should be taken up by the teachers, because that is one of the important recent trends in teaching and learning, mentoring. But I'm just trying to mention here, because just we cannot leave it to the peer group, but mentoring is also very, very important. Okay. Then also, when I'm talking about mentoring, might be there are a lot of other strategies like mnemonics mnemonics can be taught through many other models that there are available. Might be you all would have heard about the other strategies like micro teaching or simulated teaching, or also even programmed learning, which is very, very important. But today I will not discuss about programmed learning. Okay. But I have come up with one of the what we call as problem based learning. So you all know, I programmed learning. Why I did not touch upon is because we all know Pavlov and Watson came up with the law of effect, And also it was formulated by Thorndike, the main historical chain of these important events, how we connect it. And later on, it was given the procedure for shaping the behavior of the students were developed by Skinner later on, which is called as operant conditioning. So that is why here I did not, introduce programmed learning as one of the teaching strategy here, because most of us also know about this, which we also use in our classrooms. So I have just gone straight away to problem-based learning. Problem-based learning, uh, it is a pedagogical law, strategy which students learn about the subject through their experience, solving an open-ended problem. So it is very clear. Subject through experience, solving an open-ended problem means it begins with introduction of an ill-structured problem. Means not very well structured, okay, problem on which all learning is centered. So that is why the problem is one that students are likely to face as they might be, as the presenter or the professionals, or might be expertise. So that is why, the so-called expertise developed this progressive called as, which came from problem solving, which is problem-based learning. So here the students individually and collectively assume major responsibility for their own learning and instruction. That is why, students learn through subject. That is because they individually and collectively assume major responsibility. So that is why problem-based learning, where we, our main focus in this modern trends is to see that, even NCF says it is from teacher-centered to student-centered. So that is why here, it stresses on individually and collectively taking the responsibility. So making a fundamental shift from a focus from teaching to learning is very, very important. See, now I am trying to discuss, but from your end, I don't know what learning or understanding is taking place. So this should not happen in our offline sessions, isn't it? So the teacher, once she is in the class or in the session or anything, should be able to see that, whatever is being done, there should be a shift from the teacher teaching into the learning happening. The learning should take place. So that is very important. So PBL definitely, talks about traditional education practices that we were doing with in the school or in the college, should help to produce students who are definitely bored from that what you call conventional teaching. They should be able to come out with that and able to come with innovative ideas. So basically, traditional classroom should prepare students to work with others in cooperative or collaborative team situations, and see that they will come up with the right, beautiful solution that they will be able to later on carry out in the next stage of, or might be you can call next change of, say from side to side. Especially for a teacher role, it changes from, say, guide by the side. We can call it as guide by the side. Means we are just trying to facilitate them. We are just trying to guide them. A facilitator and a coach or student learning, or acting at times as a resource person, rather than knowledge holder and disseminator, it is better to be guide by side. So this, you know, it has been suggested even, this problem-based learning can lead to increased retention of knowledge and enhanced integration of basic concepts, scientific concepts especially, and also it might lead to critical thinking or, self-directed learning skills. Okay. I have mentioned them there. I'm just trying to explain them, trying to learning skills, and also, help them in subject matter that is being learned. So the instructional method that challenges students is to learn. From learn to learn means they're going to learn. That is doing by themselves. That is simple. Okay, guide by side for a teacher means the teacher is not just standing over there and imparting knowledge. She will be a facilitator. Whereas a student, this learning should definitely help a student to become a learner. That is learn by learn. So learn to learn, not by learn to learn. So this is problem-based learning. Um, I think problem-based learning, is also sometimes examples, especially in, you know, it also overlaps with collaborative learning also sometimes, I can say. So this is one of the beautiful strategy under modern trends. Now let's come to blended learning. So blended learning definitely is an education program both for formal and informal that combines both online with a traditional classroom, isn't it? That which we have been doing, that is chalk and talk method. So it is for not only both for formal but also for informal teaching. So it requires a lot of physical presence as well as some element of student um, control over time to time, while we are using this blended learning, because use of technology definitely comes there. I've already put it there, saying that it's a kind of experience that the student undergoes, where he interacts not only with his peer group but also with the teacher, and also he will be integrating content online as well as face to face. It's not just one, but it is both physical presence as well as digital media. That is, it can be digital media in a classroom or it can be online. So this model, there might be a lot of models of teaching that is achieves, models, but it cannot be taken over, or models of teaching or styles of teaching are not just adopted for this strategy. They can be a combination of technology as well as models of teaching. So blended learning actually helps in achieving better student experiences, and also the outcomes are better here when we use this, but we should know how to use them. That is very, very important. It is not just that we use that digital media or just present them in some kind of um, multimedia that we want to use. No, that will not be sufficient. So it can also broaden the space and opportunities that is available for learning because technology is involved. It also supports mm, the students with information resources, which becomes very easy for them. uh, this is blended learning. Whereas in blended learning, what I would like to say is definitely it is not only face-to-face interaction, but also with blended with technology. That is nothing but the new emerging trend, or which has already emerged, but they are trying to find new methods. So here I have given four types of or models. I'm not, saying that models of teaching are being will be replaced with this models of blended learning. But this is for blended learning, which is both traditional method as well as, using digital media. So this has four models, which you can see on the screen: rotation model, flex model, a la carte model, and enriched virtual model. So what is this rotation model? This is a form of blended learning where students rotate rotate is not just rotate themselves, rotate between, on a fixed schedule where they have been stationed, that is where they have given the place to attend the sessions, either working online or they might also have face to face with the teacher. Okay, so it is not rotating themselves, it is a rotation in the sense, the teacher would have identified. So it is rotate between different stations on a fixed schedule. So the schedule will be fixed and they will be. So among this, there are other four among rotation model, that is station rotation, lab, flipped classroom, individual rotation. That is different. See, it's very, very clear. If it is station rotation, okay, we all know under station rotation where, the students will stay wherever the class has been fixed for them in that mm, the particular modalities, and at least on which there will be at least one mode of learning, that is online mode, which is called station rotation. So there will be in one class, they'll have the fixed schedule or at the teacher's discretion. Between that, they will have online, which is called station rotation. Then the other modalities also might be, you can also think of having full class instruction, group projects. You can also integrate tutoring, mentoring, etc. So under rotation model, the second one is lab model. Definitely all the, lab, when we say lab, it's not necessarily the science lab, it is technology lab. So when students rotate between a computer lab and a classroom for the activities, the full instruction, the group discussion, projects, etc., then it is termed as lab rotation. Okay, so that is very easy, I'm sure. You must have heard flipped. We usually, while we are talking, oh, see, just now he was telling, he flipped, we say. In the same way, flipped classroom, delivers content and instruction through online learning, offsite in place of traditional assignments that will be given to attend. Okay, like example, brick and mortar classroom situation or face to face, that is, I mean to say, because means a brick and a mortar where, you break the bricks. So in the same way, it is face-to-face instruction where teacher guides projects or practices in this flipped classroom. So might be immediately they'll be doing a project. Immediately might be the teacher might get into it from say traditional kind of teaching to project, and from project to face-to-face instruction, and then might be other practices also can be. So you're switching in one class, you're trying to switch over into many other practices. Then that is individual rotation, might be individualization. We all agree, even it is in principle of teaching. We say, individualization is very much required while we teach, so especially particular topics. So students individualize, might be they can choose a schedule for the rotation, or might be they choose the station that they means classroom. Station is nothing but the classroom. Might be they might also select whether they want face-to-face instruction, or might be group discussion or project, or might be, online, using online instruction, etc. So that is called individual rotation. So this is called rotation model, where in rotation model, these are the four types of models that we come across. Okay. So second one is a flex model. So flex model is a blended learning, the main procedure of delivering the subject, or the subject was either online or with, students individually one to one. So flex is face-to-face support on a flexible, adaptive, and needed by the students. That is very, very important because we are stressing here on student centric. When we stress on student centric, for example, okay, I'll better give example. Say might be, flex model of teaching might have face-to-face, teacher doing or supplementing it with online on daily basis.
அதாவது இந்த இதுல
So
பாலிசில
whereas
படிச்சோம் மேம், நம்ம அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணி 14 டேஸ்க்கு
other
அப்புறம் தான் அலெக்ட் வைக்கணும்னு
might
போட்டுருக்கீங்க.
provide only face-to-face enrichment. So this is trying to be very flexible. Okay. Then a la carte model, not a la carte. What we see,
13,
it is a
13
type
13 ma'am.
name given. Definitely, it is the name borrowed there. Yes, a la carte model where it is online. The teacher of this, of record of
Yes.
this course is online teacher. Students may take a la carte course either on
February
the,
ma'am.
you know,
நாளைக்கு 20 இன்னைக்கு 20 நாளைக்கு
in the
21 ma'am.
classroom, or it might differ from full-time online learning.
அதான்.
It is not just
But,
offline learning, it can be online learning.
yes ma'am.
I think Sahaya, Saila, I think you should mute. Sahaya, Saila, I think you should mute. I can hear you talking with someone.
The
Yes.
principal will be the chairman of the election commission shall announce 14 days theory, a draft followed by the final list. Another?
Madam Sahaya Saila, please mute your
notice
system.
இப்ப பசங்க வந்து யார் யார் வேணும் நாமினேஷன்ஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கலாம்.
She is
சரி,
unable to
இதை
get me.
எவ்வளவு டேஸ் முன்னாடி இத போடணும் என்னன்ட்டு போட்டிருக்காது
I
வாசனை
will,
Hello, Sahaya madam.
அந்த லிஸ்ட்
Sahaya Saila madam, please
will
mute.
wait. Yeah.
ఎంత సాపిడియా అంట
Okay. Next one, let's, we can see on this picture is enriched virtual model. Enriched virtual model, here students are provided course or subject through mainly online, and instruction also will be given online. So definitely the name, I need not explain. It is virtual model, definitely speaks everything will be online. Might be in future it will be taken over by AI also. So the enriched virtual model might differ from this flipped classroom because it is only with virtual programs. Students might meet from face to face with their teachers every day, but it is fully online. Okay, might be see Vedant, even I think Byju's, they all have this kind of virtual model that they use for teaching. So we can just I don't know how far this is that we can take into, but definitely sometimes where the time constraints are there, we should also look into this kind of enriched virtual model. Okay, so these are, this is nothing but the blended model. That is nothing but, one second. Okay, where this blended model definitely will help in, talking, including technology with both technology, using technology and offline learning. But, every model which is mentioned here in the chart will definitely give a different perspective from the other end. So this is one of the model that I would, keep before you, because lot of integrated ICT learning strategies, many you people would have come across, but this is one of the model, after certain research that has been done. So it is very useful. So let us get into, to conclude how effective these models has helped us. So definitely when we say trends, innovative methods or innovative approaches in pedagogy or modern trends in pedagogy is synonymous, okay, to each other. So when we embrace this trend such as online assessments, immediate feedback, actually even feedback is also one of the important strategy that we can feedback is also one of the important strategy that we can address in recent times, which will definitely help in also talking about helping students to come up with their personalized experiences as feedback forms. So it is very important. I think I've touched upon how many kinds of 12, almost 12. I think this should be there now. As learners, I'm sure you people also can come up with your own styles of learning or introduce um, new innovative method that you all want to come up with, because each one will have its own take. So each teacher should be creative in using each one of them, not just adopting it, but also using them is very, very important. So out of all these things, again, we know that 21st century skills that we usually use, which are they are not included as modern trends, but 21st century skills like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, computing, career, all these are part and parcel of all these modern strategies that we come across today. So I would like to also conclude. Might be I can give a best example for this education system that we are facing is initially I also said, see, is not education is not the learning of facts, but also training the students to think is very, very important. So we cannot judge always the fish with the ability to I don't know whether Einstein has told, but definitely, that is one of the quote that we always come across. Let us not judge the fish by its ability to just swim in the water. There is a quote. So by helping them to think big, think using thinking skills, you're making students to learn better. So by big thinking, you will definitely design thinking creatively, I can say. So I think all of you should see that in your own classrooms while you are taking up or choosing any of these strategies, or you're going to design. You can also take on small research based on the kind of practice that you do. Okay, the practice that you follow in your class can be also you know tried out in your class, and then you can come up with a paper that how this can be an innovative method. So you cannot I hope might be you will have thousands of ways, for coming up with new strategies. So, innovation or trends might require your willingness not to fail. So you should focus more on outcomes rather than, all those measures that is readily available, like programmed instruction or anything which is readily available should not be adopted, but you can definitely design your own ways. So don't think after introducing it in your class thinking that you have failed, but always think that you haven't failed and you have just found out the 10,000 strategy to use it in your own classroom. So that is very, very important for teachers. So when we call as modern, let us all think that more modern we are, the more technology is also involved in a teaching learning process. So teaching learning is not just considered to be a complex process, but it is definitely a non-linear strategy in effective in effective learning. So we also know that we need to blend these two, that is innovative pedagogical tools as well as teaching learning process. So the integration of innovative strategies or pedagogical tools cannot act as a novel pedagogical tool. So to measure this effectiveness of such a complex, that is when we call teaching itself as a complex, so there should be fruitful research in this area. So it is suitable that each one of us, will definitely build a relationship or to integrate these innovative pedagogical tools and their outcomes with learning process, that is teaching learning process. That is why when teaching learning process becomes, through outcome through teaching learning process, then more advanced learner centered, that is student centered teaching rather than teacher centered, it becomes student centered. That is why we need to come up with new pedagogical ideas. So let us be innovative ourselves. So to help students to find the passion and resources necessary to design a better life for themselves and also for others. It is very, very important. So by doing so, we are helping them to be, reflective in their thinking, resilient, or might be observant, more empathetic, more problem solvers. We can come up, with such students in our classroom. Each one might definitely have these characteristics. So the reward of making teaching exciting and fun engages students than, just going in the classroom and just walking away. So the relationship of this is very, very important. So in higher education, to conclude, I can say definitely higher education is a, using pedagogical aspects in higher education is a challenge for each one of us, because coming up with new idea, new method, new way of thinking, using this in our everyday classroom learning is very, very important to see that each student will take something beautiful when they go back and have more cognitive enrichment and also retention. So I'm very glad. I think I have tried to try to explain few of them, try to illustrate. If anything is there, I'm sure we can have a small discussion now. Thank you very much. Do you all have any questions? We can have a small discussion to start with. Anybody
Thank
can
you.
start with.
Thank you, madam.
At the end of the session, have you thought of any new strategy or have you been practicing any new strategy in your class or new practice that you have tried out? I'm so happy I can see Kavya Kishore. All this while I didn't notice. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Any,
Thank you for in
yeah.
detail, depth presentation, madam. It's a nice one.
No, thank you so much. But it is not only 12 of them I have tried to, focus on,
Yes,
because most of them we have been also trying to use it in our day-to-day basis. We all know that. And there are other, when it comes to particular pedagogy, we are also trying out many other methods, techniques,
LMS,
approaches.
madam.
So
LMS.
this I try to put it very comprehensively. So if you people have any questions, or might be, I will be more interested to know if you as a researcher, as a leader, if you have tried out anything new in your class where you can share, that will be wonderful for the session to wind up.
So here, especially one more thing, madam, that's a discussion method along with the technology, it's LMS, Learning Management System. So where I used the Moodle in the before the Corona itself, we used that one. So we did one project in SNDT Women's University, Bombay. So we make utilize of the biological science students. So compared to the other LMS, like even Google, this one also one type of the LMS, that is Google Meet. And they
Yeah,
directly
there are so many, even
yes,
Moodle, even open-end.
Gilio, Moodle, and these are the free version. Both that
Yeah.
teacher and the students directly involved in the this evaluation, including what you call the learning materials also, and as well as the evaluation process also. That is other app, for example, some others are there. So there only one side of the involvement is there. Only the teachers, they can upload the materials, and as well as they can upload the test paper and evaluations. But whereas in the LMS, both. But the best example is today HRDC Mysore Center. They send us the LMS Google form, that is. So when in the on 29th, the test is there, and this test evaluation test is conducted on this LMS platform itself. So
That's wonderful. Even, this topic covers pedagogy and evaluation practices, right?
yes,
So,
madam.
so you'll be having a kind of practice where you can use for your own student. It will definitely
Yes.
reduce the time, or, you can give more time for students. It can be either way,
And
instead
these
of spending more
LMS
time in the
one, the
class.
demerit is there, madam. Demerit means continuously we have to be login, and as well as check out whether how many students they enrolled, how many students they are to be refer these particular LMS evaluations tool, and as well as the reading material. Otherwise, till 6 months, if validity is there. If in the till 6 months, if we not used by the teachers or the students, automatically that link, that platform will be deleted permanently. So
Okay.
again, we have to be
Oh, this
regenerate
is
and as well as
okay.
make continuation for this platform.
Have you tried out?
Madam?
No, only now. Have you tried?
Yes, in 2019 itself we did, madam. 18 I did
Oh,
project in
that
SNDT.
you
Yes,
told in
before
Mumbai.
Corona, yes,
Okay.
madam. Yes, madam.
Okay. Before Corona, that's wonderful.
Yes, madam.
Actually,
Before Corona.
most of us, I think we took on into all these things only after the
After
heat of
Corona.
the pandemic, isn't it?
Because
So before
we
that,
that
whoever is tried out is so wonderful, and definitely you also would have given a lot of presentations on all these things. So if you have anything, widely that you can share to the group, I think it will be helping me also, in fact.
yes, madam. So there are so
Other
many
than
tools in there.
whatever we have discussed today, so you can also include, while I said about blended learning, yeah, all these also can be included. Might be Moodle, open end class, as you said, LMS, everything can
Yes.
be included. I didn't go into detail into all those things.
On the same topic, I am present. I taken the seminar topic, same, madam. Digitization in higher education. So I planned for to present that on 23rd. It's the seminar is there, and there I cover all these things: e-resources, e-tools, and which are the free versions,
Yes.
not pay versions, free versions, and majority of these apps are help from the UGC and
That
as
is
well as
why
the
I told you it is lot of difference between a teacher who is novice or who is an youngster compared to a person like me. We are still so many. So that is in the beginning. That's what I said. That is one of the drawback, that challenge.
Madam, Malini madam, mute ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ please. Dr. Malini madam.
I think I will do it.
Madam, along with this,
Who's talking?
Ah.
Shalini.
Shali madam.
yes,
Yeah.
along this teaching and learning process, we also used Google Meet, Google Forms to collect the student basic data, online details, so that to manage for admission process, and even for analyzing result process, as we are not getting
Correct.
UUCMS results beginningly, we have to go for individual. So
See,
there
I
also
did
we
not go
used it.
in depth, madam, into all these things because you'll be having ICT in evaluation as a topic. So when I was talking about only this practices or the strategies, I've just touched upon stressing on pedagogical practices. So I didn't go. That is why I didn't go into the feedback
Your
for
presentation was also
monitoring
good, covered most of the
evaluation.
things which are useful. Your presentation was good, madam. You have covered most of the things which are of recent trends. Along with all these things, I want to add that not only technology knowledge is needed, along with teacher has to enrich their techno-pedagogical content knowledge. So content knowledge is also needed, technology knowledge is needed, along with that pedagogical knowledge is also needed. So
True,
that
true.
is one of the recent trend I want to add.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think at least 50% in this group, we all are, all are handling pedagogies in particular. So when it is in higher education, I have just touched in higher education what practices in general we can. But when we go in particular, there are a lot of other, when it comes only for teacher education, we have lot more to discuss, which I have not touched upon. I would like to, present this before the group because I just touched upon at the higher education level. So that is one of the line that we can draw. The practices in teacher education is still, lots more. It definitely is lots more, and 50% of you are in teacher education. Definitely, you all know. But when we go in depth or discuss like this, then we will come across. So this was only the major that I just said about which as in general we can use in higher education because it is definitely a transforming era that we have seen in the last few years. So I think we will wind up. Do you
Madam,
want
I
any
want
more
to
discussion?